chance to get into it.
And so off the tip, it's New York. So a look at our starters for the Knicks. We've got Shaw. Silk is out there with Blatch. And there's the bulldozer. And it's Bottoms in at the 2-guard spot. Here is Shaw. Coming off a solid outing against the Lakers. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play. And the Raptors have been talking about changing things up in the logo department for a while. Finally, we get a chance to see the new logo this season.
Now, here's Biyombo. Shot clock at 5. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. As you said, the Raptors with the new logo this year, Greg. Good-looking change, too, I think, Clark.
Yeah, I think it's subtle enough to not lose the continuity, but still feel fresh and new. I like that. That's a nice job of balancing the old with freshening up for the new.
And here are the Knicks now. The Raptors getting the bucket. Biyombo with the block. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Here is Lowry. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Heat in Miami.
And also defensively, guys, he kept them off balance with 4 steals on the night.
Scola, no lock. On defense, Toronto. This their first look at this year's New York squad.
And they didn't have much of a problem with these guys last season, and quite frankly, you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, you know, these are two teams clearly on opposite ends of the continuum in this conference. I mean, this is a team they rightly feel they can beat every time they take the court with them.
Shaw has gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Now, here's Lowry. Defense right on him. Fires for 3. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Latch the pass to Bottoms. Down low, the bulldozer banked in off the glass. The bulldozer's got his first bucket in this one.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
And there's the foul. It's on the bulldozer. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Now, here is Lowry. Scola sets a screen for Lowry. 6 to shoot. Takes the 13-footer. Shot is off. So New York will take it the other way. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
Toronto with the ball, following the score by New York. Pass to Scola. Inside to the wing right side, and it's Lowry penetrating.
And for Kyle Lowry, a guy who just has an unbelievable nose for the basketball, the triple-double comes natural to him now. Top 10 in the league the past 2 seasons. In his short time with the Raptors, he's already their career leader in that category.
Lance Thomas, he's checked in for the bulldozer. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. To the left side wing. Here's Huffman, and there's another one for the Knicks.
He's got to be a little embarrassed for joining the Paratroopers Club on that pump fake.
Outside Lowry. To the middle. It's tipped. And now the Knicks on the break.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Raptors trail by 5. To the inside. Here's Biyombo. And he can't jam it through. The Knicks have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. Their offense. Running. Passes it to Shaw. Puts up a 3. In the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest.
And you can see he's got a little bounce in his step. 3 out of 4 to start.
The Raptors have gone 2 of 6 from the field. Ball's knocked loose. All alone. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Already seizing control of this game.
Total control, Greg, and as well as they're playing at both ends, I look for this lead to get even larger.
Shaw has gone 80% from the field, 4 of 5 shooting. And the Raptors call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And here are the Knicks. They're on a 17-7 run. Here's Huffman. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Raptors trail by 13. The pass to Johnson. And here's Lowry. He has 5. 6 to shoot, and it's blocked. They recover. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. The Knicks leading by 11. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. I caught up with head coach Dwayne Casey. Coach said that even though this is the first meeting of the year, he didn't expect there to be much of a feeling out period between the teams. He said, listen, we have a group of guys that can all score and do it in a hurry. I expect us to come right at them and test their defense early on. They'll definitely be on the attack, guys.
Wonderful stuff, Doris. Thanks. The early game plan centered around their offense, it sounds like.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's the right approach for this game. I mean, if they can get off to a good start offensively, everything else should come together.
Well, what happens if they don't get off to a fast start? I mean, they'll be scrambling looking for answers. We'll see if that approach works for them.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Clock at 6. Baseline J on the way. Shaw with the rebound. The Knicks leading by 13. Shoots the 3. No good. That's miss number 2. He's 1 for 3.
You know, there was a bunch of stuff that went wrong for the Knicks last season, and we don't have enough time to get into all of it. One thing that was at least decent was their play within the division.
Blatch pull. Pulls it in.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Pass to Shaw. Passes it to Bottoms. And there's the pass to Silk. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Lowry. Well, last season, the Knicks did finish last in the Atlantic Division, but they at least took 5 games off the rest of the team.
Yeah, and listen, they would like to avoid slipping back into the mid-2000s when they came in last in that Atlantic Division 4 out of 5 years. The division is still up for grabs year to year, so maybe the Knicks can get back on track faster than most teams that only win 17 games.
DeMarre Carroll's checked in for Toronto. Gervin comes in for Kyle Lowry. Johnson the screen. And it's Carroll in the corner. Now here's Joseph. He's covered closely. Gervin outside from downtown. And the rebound goes to the Knicks.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
On the court for the Knicks. Bottoms is out there with Shaw. And there's the bulldozer. Then it's Silk. And it's Edmondson in at the 4 slot.
Just absolute domination in this one for Shaken Bate. He's got 10 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Now here's Joseph. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. There's the 3, and there's Lowry. That's good on the assist from Joseph.
Nice stroke from long range, and if he keeps getting those opportunities, he better take them.
Pass to Shaw. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Bottoms, and they come right back with their own 3-pointer. Bottoms got 5 points so far. Now here is Lowry. He's guarded closely. Wide open. And again, it's Toronto converting. The Knicks leading by 15. Mark, one thing about Kyle Lowry, he has a bulldog mentality. We saw that from his days at Villanova.
No question about that, and I love that about him. He's very simple, not really flashy, just consistently beats the rock. He wears his opponents down.
Toronto with the ball after New York gets the 3. Johnson can't hit.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far. Kevin, just enough presence to bottle that 3-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
Fooled the D with the pass fake right there. That's 7 points for Bottoms.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Toronto calls timeout.
And for Louis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams. The D just sagged off just enough, and no hesitation on his part.
Greg, you were talking about Scola. He has the physical skills, Clark, to make a difference.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's not spectacular in anything, but he's really solid in just about everything. A pro's pro, and he adds value, tremendous value to any team he's on.
Here is Shaw. He's got 11. A rebound by Johnson. Now here is Lowry. Defense is right there. And Shaken Bate picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Lowry with the ball. He's got 8. Lets it go from the wing. Again, Toronto.
Yeah, field goal percentage above 50 now. Their offense is starting to show.
And, you know, that's a really good sign. I mean, they stumbled out of the gate, but they're starting to look a little better now and regaining some ground.
Here is Shaw. After the made shot from Kyle Lowry. And the basket by Shaw. Shaw's got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Now, here's Lowry. D right on him. To the paint. And Scola with the basket on the assist by Lowry.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here is Shaw. He's got 14. Five to shoot. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Raptors trail by 18. Outside Lowry. Got a hand on it. And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. And Toronto making a change here. Biyombo's checked in. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Lance Thomas, he's checked in for Lou Odmanson. Shot clock at 6. Lowry drives in. That's good. Lowry's got 12 points in the game.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Here is Shaw. Lowry covering. Pass to Bottoms. Here's the bulldozer, and he jams it with authority.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
No coverage that time. 10 points for him.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Raptors trail by 17. Well, last year Toronto won their division and got bounced out in the first round. Same result Clark they had back in 2014.
Yeah, but you know, despite that sameness, they were an improved team last season, Kevin. They did a lot of the small things better in total, and I thought looked better and more cohesive as a group.
Here's Lowry, following the score by New York, and Shake and Bake picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
And New York making a change here. Charles Oakley, he's checked in for the Bulldozer. Clay Anthony early comes in for Silk. Russo's checked in for Bottoms. And it's Vujacic in for Shaw. Shaw's checked in for the Knicks. Now here's Carroll. Defense right on him. They get it back. Biyombo, no luck.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far. And chalk up a few more points for them there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely, I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense, I mean, it's all been terrific.
Here is Shaw, covered by Gervin. Here's the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Shaw. A three-pointer off the mark. Toronto's gone 3 of 4 with the long-range bombs here in the second quarter. Gervin against LaRusso. Out left to the wing. Carroll, no one around him. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Carroll's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here is Shaw. 16 points for him. Lets it go with the 3. But they recover it. Passes it to LaRusso. Here is Shaw. Fires for 3. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Toronto's gotten hot from three-point land in the second quarter, going 4 of 5 from downtown. Dishes to Biombo. He feeds it to Gervin. 6 to shoot. Shot off the pick. It's hauled in by Oakley. Oakley's got 3 rebounds now in this one. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Shaw. Misses the 3. Toronto's done a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. The shot by Carroll, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here is Shaw. Good if it goes. He knocks it down right at the buzzer.
That's a shot he'll never forget. As dramatic as they come.
He's got a special...
And so a pretty lot.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
I don't even know anymore what that even means, though. If you only live once, why we keep doing the same?
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lot. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They are complete. Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. It's been one outstanding game for Shake and Bake.
You just can't shoot the triple any better than he did in that first half. That was incredible.
And here in the second, Greg, he's got to just keep taking them and making them. And if that's the case, no reason for him to stop.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for Toronto right now, shot's good. And that's now 9 points for Bottoms. Now here's Lowry. No good. And New York the other way now.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Here is Shaw. He's got 22. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Wow, just look at that lead. Both ends, they have been the team in control.
Yeah, and they put the fans simply on mute. They've not had anything to cheer about, and they've been silent.
The Knicks shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Toronto with the ball.
Ugh, ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it, and that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim.
The Knicks have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
Talk about some great numbers for Silk. He has 17 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
New York moving it around. Lets it fly. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. And it's 6 points for the Bulldozer. And Shake and Bake picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. On defense, New York. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Now Lowry, 12 points for him.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Shaw passes to Bottoms. The pass to Silk. Launches it. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Knicks making a switch here. Vujicic is checked in. Williams against Carroll. Down low. The feed now to Lowry. Gervin outside. Shoots from 12. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for New York.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
And it became clear, thinking about the Knicks again, I mean, it made sense for a team with injuries and being in disarray on the floor to just battle for that lottery.
Toronto's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. There's the steal. Here's Shaw, and he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers. And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim. You know, kind of packing it in for the sake of being better in the future can possibly work in New York for a year or two, but not longer than that. The media will eat you up there if you don't start making some progress towards winning, pleasing basketball.
Anthony Early's checked in for LaRusso. The Knicks have been coming through at the charities. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Guys, that makes it 2 straight seasons now that the Raptors have been the cream of the crop in the Atlantic Division. Ended the season with a franchise best 49-33 record. Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
Williams for 3. And yes, sir, that one drops. Williams has got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Toronto's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land, 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Feeds it to Gervin. One second left, and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And at the end of the and we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And the Raptors going out now with a whole new group. A shot by Lowry, wide open. Off the inbound, no good. The Knicks have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%. And New York, looking at who they've got. Bulldozer is out there with Silk. And there's Bottoms. Then there's Shaw. And it's Blatch in at the 5, roaming the paint. Count the bucket.
Watch out. Now he's got his first 3 of the half with more in store.
Pass to Shaw. New York moving the ball around. Here's Bottoms. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
There's the lob to the hoop.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around in the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
And guys, that's an alley-oop I guarantee you we'll be seeing on the highlight reels for the next few days. Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just not letting up at all.
To the inside, Norrell. Rebound Blatch.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Lowry drives in. Can't get it to fall. New York's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Shaw passes to Bottoms. Here's the bulldozer. Carroll covering. Pass to Shaw. Takes a three. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
I mean, the Knicks were bad last year, and it became evident early on. As the season grew older, more and more of their national coverage games were being pulled.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for DeMarre Carroll. Johnson comes in for Gervin. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. The Raptors also changing it up. Biyombo is checked in for Patterson. DeMarre Carroll comes in for James Johnson. And Gervin subbed in for Corey Joseph. And New York with a change here, too. Shaw's checked in. For the Knicks, losing a lot of nationally televised games, too. It seemed like every time they were on, they were losing. It might have been a blessing in disguise.
Well, I hope they look at it in a positive vein. It did give them a chance to focus on player development there in New York. Also allowed them to shut down Melo for the season.
Yeah, and Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their own conference and earn that 4 seed in the East.
New York calls timeout. And the Raptors did play the other East teams well, went 500 against the rest of the Eastern Conference playoff teams, too.
And despite that, we know the Raptors had a disappointing playoff run to end the year, but I thought they still showed that they are a power in the East by having another strong season against the conference.
The Knicks making a switch here. Vujacic is checked in. Williams outside, and the shot is good.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Passes it to Shaw.
And, guys, every season there seems to be a player who is at the end of their contract. They'll have talent and they'll be traded to a team looking for an extra piece. It's the ultimate risk-reward move, if you will, in the NBA.
Toronto's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Knicks.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, Parkinson toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And what should be an exciting 4-game season series between these two teams, they have to feel great about taking this first one tonight against the Raptors.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Shake and Bake. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
And trading assets for a player that can walk at the end of the year is the big risk GMs take. And last season, Clark, it happened with the Rondo trade.
And to a lesser extent, the whole Kevin Love deal made prior to the season would fit into that category as well.
The free throw drops for Biyombo. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. New York with the ball. Johnson outside. He dishes it to Early. And the Knicks good for 2.
Didn't take their time in wrapping this game up. They came out with a sense of urgency.
Nice ending spurt to polish it off. Once they had them on the ropes, they started throwing haymakers at them.
The whole knock knockout blow.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take